Greetings, metaphysicians. This is episode 99, The Heart of War, Part 2, The Future. And it is all about what you can do to help us win this spiritual battle. You can actually do something. Listen in to the episode to find out what that is. Enjoy.
You're listening to Let's Get Metaphysical. This podcast explores the spiritual and metaphysical world through the experiences and opinions of the host and those interviewed. It should not necessarily be seen as direct endorsement or personal advice to our listeners. We encourage you to use your own discernment, judgment, and intuition regarding anything you learn from this show.
Let's get meta.
Welcome to the Let's Get Metaphysical Podcast. I'm your host, Renata Maniaci, here to remind you that you are a spiritual being having a temporary human experience here on lovely planet Earth. Make the most of it. This is episode 99, The Heart of War, Part 2, The Future. And this is Season 7, Heaven on Earth. And before I jump into the episode, I have a few fun announcements to make. For one, this is the 99th episode, y'all. Like, how exciting is that? You know, the podcast comes out about twice a month, and our next episode is going to be the 100th episode. And not only that, it happens to fall on the 4th anniversary of the podcast. I actually, believe it or not, did not plan that, but that is what's happening. The first episode in May will be the 100th, and that will be also when I started the podcast 4 years ago in May of 2018. So that is really exciting. And I wanted to commemorate the occasion by sending all new angel donors on Patreon a special something in the mail. So if you feel like you've been listening for a while and you might benefit or enjoy our bonus content or my monthly new and full moon live streamed events, or if you just want to support the podcast because you're enjoying it and getting something out of it, do go become an angel donor at patreon.com/letsgetmeta and be sure to put in your home address because I will send you something special. So I'm excited about those things. Let's go ahead and jump into our current episode right now. Are you ready? Let's get meta. Masters and angels, I request your support, your guidance, your presence throughout this entire episode. Please allow the highest level of clarity and consciousness to come through. Please allow this episode to reach whoever needs to hear it. Please allow me to know the truth, tell the truth, be the truth, and become the truth. And let's also please help us to spread a level of positivity and brightness and bliss about our future on this planet. Thank you with gratitude and full faith. Bless creation. The Heart of War, Part 2, The Future. In our last episode, it was the present. And what came through was a look at what is happening all around us right now on the planet. This episode, what's coming through now is how very important it is for us to be fully joyful and positive and blissful and high vibration and optimistic as much as possible right now and moving forward each and every day. Many of you already inherently understand the importance of your thoughts and your feelings and how they truly do affect everything that happens around you in your own life and how that ripples out and touches other people. Many of you already know this on some level. But as we have been talking about on the podcast for a while, we're at a turning point here. We've been cleared for takeoff. We're in the heart of our spiritual war that's happening on the planet right now. And it's not only us, it's not only the humans. There are so many other benevolent beings here to help us. But what can we do to help ourselves and to help them help us? What can we do to help the future of this planet? Our thoughts and our feelings and our words and our actions are so very important. And everything starts from what you see, even in your mind, what you expect. What do you expect to see? Some people naturally expect the best possible outcome in any situation. And some people naturally expect the worst possible outcome. And since we create our own realities, what outcome would you like to create for yourself and for the planet? Yesterday I was on a plane, or I was in the airport getting ready to board my plane, and it kept getting delayed because of some mechanical issue. And I was fine. I was just working, and it kept getting delayed, and it was delayed about an hour. And there was somebody next to me who was absolutely certain that we were not going to be able to fly at all, that the flight would get canceled. And a lot of people in the terminal were really worried about missing their connective flights, all of these natural things that is normal for us to worry about in a situation like that. And, I'm just generally positive about those types of things. I just kept doing my work and kept envisioning myself landing at my destination. And that's how I do things. I don't necessarily, I'm not saying I do that all the time in all situations, but I'm trying to now make a conscious effort to visualize and see what I want to see happen. And I don't necessarily need to, blast that out everywhere, but it does become more powerful when you take that vision of what you want to see from your mind, which is an unseen thing. It's not a solid thing. And you transform it somehow into something that is more tangible, whether it's through words or song or a poem or writing it down, drawing it, sharing it with other people. You see? So you're taking something that you're envisioning or that you want or you desire, some kind of outcome, and you're taking that next step to bringing it from the etheric, from the unseen into the seen, by bringing it from the spiritual, so to speak, into the material world. Yes, we've talked about this before. I know some of you are like, don't you talk about this kind of stuff all the time? Yeah, I think I have a whole episode about manifestation. But this is a particular situation here. This is about our future. Your future individually in your own soul's journey and our journey collectively as souls who decided to incarnate on this planet at this time. So what this episode is all about is creating that future that you want to see in the world. Because if we can do that, if we can see things so clearly in our mind that we can describe them to people or draw it on a picture or paint it on canvas or create a song about it or any of these things, write a poem about it, make a movie about it, share a podcast episode about it, we're bringing it more from the unseen into the seen, which brings it more into the 3D realities that we are surrounded by right now. And there's plenty of people and organizations and governments and structures out there that are doing their best to paint the worst picture, that are doing their best to share only the negative, only the worst possible outcomes or the scariest outcomes, or share the most negative things that are happening on the planet right now. And based on our talk, what do you think that does? You see these things, you hear these things, they're negative, they're not uplifting, they're not inspiring, they're not beautiful. They don't make you happy. They don't make you excited. They don't make you more intelligent. And whatever they are making you, you're seeing that, right? If you're seeing those things in your mind's eye, on some level you're internalizing that, and that's just one more soul who has seen that negativity and will then project that in some way, consciously, mostly unconsciously, to those around them. So this episode is all about the opposite of that, countering that, if you will. I want us to so envision the positive things that we want for ourselves in this world that it becomes so tangible, so reachable, so expected, that ripples out and affects those around you, and that they can start to do that too, and envision the world that they want for themselves and their families and their friends and for all of humanity. Because most of us aren't seeing that. Most of us aren't seeing the world that we want to live in when we look at the news or social media, even movies, TV shows. Now, there are those things, right? Maybe you're thinking of your favorite movie or TV show, and it does show the world that you want to live in. And watching that creates this vibration, this energy for you that helps you to see it more and helps you to imagine it more and add more beautiful things and useful things and loving things and happy things and blissful things to it, to that vision, so that it helps to grow. But a lot of the world is surrounded not by that right now. They're surrounded by the opposite of that. And so what's subconsciously happening and has been happening for most of the people, for most of recent history, is that they're not being asked to see the world that they want to live in. And they're not seeing it anyway around them, because that's not what is pushed forward by the powers that be. Few people are asking people to imagine and to draw and to write and to speak what they want for themselves. But that's such a huge part of manifestation. It's the biggest part of manifestation, is being able to somehow envision, speak, write, draw, paint, all these things, what you want. So if we can do that, not only for ourselves in this individual way, but also for the world in an altruistic way, even thinking about it, believe me when I say this, even thinking about it helps it to become more of a reality than it already is. Visualizing it, even just seeing it in your mind's eye, brings the possibility of that thing ever closer to manifesting in this material world. I know on some level I'm preaching to the choir, because I know so many of you have manifested incredible things. You're incredibly powerful manifestors, many of you already. I can feel this just by putting my attention on who's listening to this episode. So I'm going to ask you to continue to do what you're doing, only do it in a more altruistic fashion for the planet. And those of you who this is new to, I'm going to ask you to do the same, because you're just as powerful. You're more powerful than you even imagine that you are. So if you're in a crappy mood or a negative mood, and that can bring down the people around you, as I'm sure we've all experienced, whether it was ourselves or family member, friend. Similarly, if you're in a positive mood or happy mood, that can be infectious as well. Well, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop with just being happy or being sad. It also applies to these things that we can create, these things that we can envision. So to get the ball rolling, so to speak, I am going to read out several things that I wrote down about what I would like to see in the future. And in this way, we can start to create the future that we want to live in on this planet. Now, some of these things are funny. Some of them are serious. Well, they're all serious, even if they're about Waffle House, either way. But this is to give you an idea of just ideas. What do you want to see in the near future? How do you want to live? What does the planet look like to you? What do you want it to look like? So I'm going to go ahead and read some things out. I think I wrote down 35. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm 35. Here we go. Oh, and I wrote these all as though they've already happened. So I'm kind of trying to, in my mind's eye, see that this has already happened when I'm speaking it, if that makes sense. So here we go. We are all at peace. Civility reigns. There is a massive rise in the level of consciousness. Everyone communicates telepathically, which eradicates misunderstandings and miscommunications. Everyone has a baseline of empathy. Love is the most visible frequency in everyone and everything. We travel by teleportation. All old methods of transportation have been converted into fun living spaces. Communication is easy amongst humans, with nature, with animals, with aliens, with guides, with angels, with the earth, and with our Creator, God, Source, all that is, however you say that. People take responsibility for themselves, their words and their actions. There are cleaner and classier Waffle Houses in more places. Taxes have disappeared. Everyone's basic needs are provided for. Everyone can pursue their passions. Happiness is a common emotion in all. Bliss is a common emotion in all. Humans can fly, not necessarily to travel because of our teleportation, but because it's fun. People authentically care about other people. There is a sense of knowing that we are all connected. Angels are a known and accepted part of our reality. Everyone remembers that they are a soul having a temporary human experience here on lovely planet Earth. Random acts of kindness is an epidemic. We grow up with proper spiritual education. Everyone has a thorough understanding of the universal laws by adulthood. There's proper care for children and proper care for the elderly. That's a standard thing. Beauty is everywhere. Everything has been created to be aesthetically pleasing. Everything that we consume, food is healthy and mineralized. Water is healthy and alive. Sugar, alcohol, drugs, plant medicine have been completely replaced with equally satisfying but healthy alternatives. Everywhere in the world is completely safe. Everyone understands how karma works, and no one wishes to incur negative karma. Everyone respects the earth and spends copious time in nature. Humans have outgrown the desire for violence in all forms and in all content. Everyone spends ample time each day playing. There's global recesses, and they are all blissfully adhered to. We remember that we are all from the same place, and we will eventually all return to that same place. So these are just a few things that when I sat down to do my part for this episode, that's what came up. Now, you can do this. I hope you do this. If not, write it. At least think about it for a few minutes. I know that even listening to those, many of you are thinking of things that you would like to see in the future. And some of them may be along the same lines as what I've said, and some of them can be so completely different on topics that I just didn't even touch on. And they can be fantastical and beautiful and not make any sense or not see how that thing could be possible, right? Because I know that some of you are out there listening to this and you're thinking, well, that could never happen. That could never happen. But I'm challenging you to even shift your thinking in that way, right? You don't need to think like that. It's just a reflex that you're used to. It's a habit. It's a pattern. It's like going down the same highway to get home without even thinking about it. You're on autopilot. You don't have to know the how or the why. You can just see what you want to see and keep seeing it. Keep adding to it, keep growing it. And if you really want to put some more power behind it, say it, speak it, draw it, write it, paint it, chant it, and then ask the angels to bring that thing to be. Because as long as it is for the highest and best good of everyone around, if it's not going to harm anybody, then they'll help you with it. There are things that we can do, tangible things that we can do to help up-level the future, our future, and the future of the planet. And these are them. These are things you can do. You can try. I feel like many of you are listening and you're into it and you are thinking of new things, and maybe you will write down a little list of things that you want to see in the future. Maybe you will make a poem or a painting or a drawing about this. And some of you don't believe that your thoughts can make a difference. Some of you don't believe that what I'm saying about what you can visualize will change anything. And that's exactly who I'm trying to reach right now. We are all so much more powerful than we even understand or comprehend. And it's so difficult to see and believe that based on our human circumstances, our life circumstances that we're in. But if you're curious even a little bit, or if you're cynical and want to prove me wrong, which is fine, try this. I urge you to try it with positive visions, right? Because you don't want to envision the negative stuff, because same thing applies. You're very powerful and you will manifest these things, or you will manifest that type of energy. So please be positive, be optimistic, loving, blissful. Maybe I'm too naive or too optimistic, but I feel like any person that was asked to do this or wanted to try this would be positive. The things that you'll come up with are good. They're of the light. They're spreading positivity and goodness in the world and love in the world. Most of us on this planet are like this. There are more people who want to spread positivity and light than there are people who want to spread negativity and darkness. It's just that the powers that be right now have the corner on negativity and darkness. But that doesn't mean it has to stay like that, and we can all do our part. So help. Help. If you're one of these people who wishes that they could help be the change they want to see in the world, this is a way. Do this. Do this for yourself. Do this for your family. Do this for the podcast. Do this for the world. Let's all do it. And then we'll see what happens. Write into me. Tell me, do this for a week. Do this for a month. And tell me what has come into your life or what you've noticed in the world around you. Because something will shift, especially if you're asking for help. Ask for help. If angels aren't your thing, then ask your soul, ask your high self, ask your guides, ask your ancestors. Ask God for help in manifesting these things and bringing these visions of light down into the earth plane and seeing them manifest in physical reality. Let's all do this together. So I will leave the episode there. I so want you all to feel how powerful you are. So try this, even if it's just 3 things that you want to see in the world. Just think about them. Write them down. Do something. And let that ripple out. Maybe get your friends to do it. Maybe get your family to do it. Maybe get people at work to do it. Or a group that you're in. Take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes. And do this. Let's let it ripple out all over. So I'll leave it there. Bonus content is going to be fun activities along this line. Come join me at patreon.com/letsgetmeta for the bonus content. And again, thank you for joining me for this 99th episode of Let's Get Meta. And become an angel donor for a fun gift anytime from now all the way through May. And anyone that joins then will get something fun from me in the mail. Thank you so much for listening. Stay positive, stay safe, and stay meta.
The Let's Get Metaphysical podcast is an Up and Awaken production and is produced and hosted by Renata Maniaci. Our intention is to raise the vibration of the planet by sharing, validating, and normalizing spiritual and metaphysical experiences. If you are ready to raise your vibration, you might enjoy our free Let's Get Meta Master Clearing. To receive the Master Clearing or to learn more about the podcast, visit letsgetmeta.com. We like to share metaphysical stories and answer spiritual questions on the podcast. If you have a metaphysical experience you would like to share or have a spiritual question you would like to have answered, please send an email to info@letsgetmeta.com. The Let's Get Meta podcast is inspired by angels and supported by angels. If you would like to be an angel donor to the podcast, visit patreon.com/letsgetmeta. Thank you for listening. Stay meta.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.